Sure, we have a SAT math problem. Okay, let's go to the question. What are the solutions to 3 times x negative 3 the whole square negative 6 equals to 14? Okay, here we have to solve the equation over here. And as soon as some students look at this equation, they will try to expand the square of the binomial over here and solve for x. Actually, it is not required. There is an easy way to solve this equation. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to assign a new variable for this linear expression x negative 3. That is let y equals to x negative 3. Okay, then the equation will become 3 times y square negative 6 equals to 14 because I plugged in y for this x negative 3 over here. Now we have to solve for y in this equation. Once we get the value of y, it can be replaced by the original stuff x negative 3. Okay, here you may have a question. Why do I have to assign a new variable y for this x negative 3? To make the solving process easier, that is instead of expanding the square of the binomial, to make the solving process easier, I assign a new variable y for this x negative 3. Okay, now let's solve for y in this equation. For that, we have to add 6 to both sides. When I add 6 to both sides, this negative 6 positive 6 will cancel out. I'm getting 3y square equals to 20. Okay, now let me divide both sides of this equation by 3. So when I do so, this 3 will cancel out. I'm getting y square equals to 20 over 3. Okay, now to get rid of this square we have for y, we have to take square root on both sides. Okay, when you take square root on both sides, the square root and square will cancel out. Whenever we take square root on both sides of an equation, we have to consider positive or negative sign for the square root which contains number inside. That is, for this square root, we have to consider positive or negative sign. So then we get y equals to positive or negative square root of 20 divided by 3. Okay, here we have solved for y, but our aim is not to solve for y. Actually, the y is taken by us. It has to be replaced by the original stuff x negative 3. Okay, now let's plug in this x negative 3 for y over here. Then we get the equation x negative 3 equals to positive or negative square root of 20 divided by 3. Okay, now to solve for x, we have to add 3 to both sides. Because according to the question, we have to solve for x. That is, the solution to this equation means that is a value of x. Okay, so here when I add 3 to both sides, and 83 positive 3 will cancel. I'm getting x equals to 3 positive or negative square root of 20 divided by 3. But I don't find this one in any of the answer choices. I think I may have to do some more simplification over here. For that, what we can do is 3 positive or negative. We can write this square root of 20 over 3 as a square root of 20 divided by square root of 3. So because whenever we have square root for a fraction, square root can be distributed for numerator and denominator. That's what I've done over here. Okay, here we have an irrational number in denominator. Usually we don't keep irrational number in denominator. When we have irrational number in denominator, it has to be rationalized. That is, we have to make this one as a rational number. So to make this one as a rational number, we have to multiply both numerator and denominator by square root of 3. Then I'm getting x equals to 3 positive or negative. Okay, here we multiply two square roots. Whenever we multiply two square roots, we can take square root in common and we have to multiply the numbers inside the square root. Then I'm getting 20 times 3 inside the square root. Okay, here square root of 3 times square root of 3 is just 3. Then we get x equals to 3 positive or negative square root of 20 times 3 is 60 divided by 3. Okay, here I got the solution for the given equation. That is 3 positive or negative square root of 60 divided by 3. I find this stuff exactly in answer choice D. The correct answer choice for this question is D.